New cards, PogChamp. New cards, PogChamp. What is this? What? Oh my god! Reference art for one of the new sets. It's actually a shoe. But it really does look like a wiener, right? It looks like a big old wiener. Oh no. It looks like a heat mapped wiener. You know what I'm saying? Shoe created by carving a crystal that fell off Star Replacer. Wait, hold up. Where did it fall out from? Wait a minute. Just because it's a shoe doesn't mean it's always been a shoe. All right. Let's start at the back. First, we've got Regenesis, Regenesis, etc. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. I love Japanese designers just sort of throwing like Judeo-Christian iconography at a wall and seeing what sticks. It's great. More of it, please. The thing about the Bible is it's kind of the world's first fandom. All right, Regenesis Warrior Bereshit. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. So that's a summon condition on the first, and they're all hard onces. If a monster with 2,500 original attack and defense is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's Dark Magician support. Quick effect, you can tribute this card. Target a monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand during your opponent's end phase. If this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you could add it to your hand. Next up, we have Sage Shemot. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If a monster with 2,500 original attack and defense on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can send another Regenesis card from your hand to face up to the graveyard, negate the activation, destroy the card. Add it to your hand at the end of the turn. Okay. We have Regenesis Dragon Vaikra. You can only special summon with the first effect once per turn. You can only use the second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Special if 2,500. Tribute this card, then target a spell trap your opponent controls. Banish it, then add it to your hand. Regenesis Archfiend Bemidbar. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn, or the second effect, special summon by revealing a monster in your hand with 2,500 attack or defense. That's new. That's new, right? Yeah, okay. All right. If this card is normally special summoned, you can add a Regenesis card from your deck or banishment to your hand, except Regenesis Archfiend Bemidbar during your opponent's end phase. If the card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add it to your hand. Okay, this one's interesting. So this is like the starter, right? Because it doesn't have to have one already on field. It's the one that is on field, and it adds a card. And then, Deuteronominon. That's a cool name. Okay, cannot be normal summoned or set. Special summoned by banishing a face-up monster you control with 2,500 original attack and defense. You can only special summon it once per turn. If special summoned, set a spell trap. 2,500 during battle phase only. Piercing. Okay, this one sucks ass unless the spell traps are good. Regenesis. I love when they do this. I love when an archetype is like named something and then they're like, and there's a spell that's just named the archetype. Like when I saw Azamina, I was like, yeah, I'm a sucker for this fucking shit. Okay, take a Regenesis monster from your deck, either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And if you control a Regenesis monster, you can add a monster with 2,500 attack and defense from your deck to your hand instead. Okay, that's a really good Rhoda. If this card is in your graveyard, banish it, then target a Regenesis monster in your graveyard, special summon it. It's Rhoda, and it's Reborn. Okay? Torah Regenesis. Okay, are we getting these in their original naming? You cannot special summon from the extra deck until the end of the turn after this card resolves. Also special summon a Regenesis monster from your deck, but send it to the graveyard during your opponent's end phase. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you could banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished Regenesis monsters, special summon it. Wow. Just a fucking e-telly. Torah is the name. Okay, I think we all know what the Torah is. And Regenesis Birth. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn and only once that turn. Send a Regenesis monster from your deck to the graveyard. Target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Change it to face-down defense position. During your opponent's turn, send this face-up card from your spell trap zone to the graveyard. Special summon Regenesis. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus, it's Soul Charge. Wow. Okay, so first and foremost, I gotta say, before we got into these, someone hopped in chat and said, are you doing the Jewish cards? And I thought they were just being anti-Semitic. But these are actually Jewish cards. It's literally just the name for the books and then Torah. I hope we get them with that text. I mean, that would be nice. However, I guess when I'm talking about they changed Shaddolls, no way this stays. Yeah, I guess that's true. Um, Regardless, let's talk about the playability of these cards. I really like them. I think they're quite strong. Obviously, they all have really powerful effects. They're clearly pushed to be good. The thing that's keeping me off them is that they're not like a deck in the current sense. You know what they remind me of? Like first wave Mech Knight, right? You know what I'm saying? Like when it was just a bunch of guys that formed like a tight resource loop, but it wasn't like you would play Mech Knight. You would play like Invoked Mech Knight, and like these guys would just be like big beaters in a deck that otherwise had like incidental synergy with them. Bestials, like the way that people play Bestial now, that's like 3 Lubellion, Magnamut, some number of Druis Worm, some number of Baldrake, maybe a Saronir, and then like a Regain, maybe a the Continuous Trap. That's kind of how I expect these to be played in decks. So I imagine that there are going to be cases in which you're like, you know, it really does behoove me to like max out on this guy and then pick the one of these guys that shores up a critical weakness of my deck. If I'm doing that, I can play the Rhoda. Maybe I can get through by playing one of these. It's strange. Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes in cycles in terms of if we are playing engine decks or not. And now we're almost in a position where we are once again playing engine decks. Fiendsmith, Kashtira, Bestials, this, and Primite, I think are all pretty heavy contenders of like stuff that's good. I would not be surprised to see these cards see a lot of play. I don't think you're going to see capital R Regenesis decks topping, but I think you will see these somewhere. They read crazy. Now, tell me, chat, what the stupidest thing you can play these in. Like, what deck with incidentally 2,500 original attack can you play these in? I'm thinking DM. Kashtira, there. Okay. Special Unicorn, Special Barashit. Wait, I'm listening. Vanquish. Oh, Vanquish is kind of funny. This is an Earth? This is a Fire? Hold up, wait. Is there a Dark? There's no Dark. That's unfortunate because that's the one that's hard to get. Infinitrack Riverstormer has 2,500 attack. This is a joke. See, but I don't actually know if it is with you. The Bestials, yeah. Cool cards. More cards like this. These are so cool. I hadn't read them till today, but I did see this image because House of Champs posted it, and he was like, this is the most fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Art of all time. It's like armed dragon, but the head is a skull, and it's got like cybernetic enhancements, and it's standing on 2 feet. It's like just so quintessentially Yu-Gi-Oh! An art that wouldn't exist anywhere else. Just a big, confused blob, and I love it. I love it so much. It's so good. All right, next up. New Materia Reactor. One new Materia Reactor. Prima Materia Reactor. Okay, so this is a pendulum. It's like Metal Foes, a vanilla pendulum with a pendulum effect. Xyz monsters you control gain attack equal to the number of Xyz monsters attached to monsters on the field times 100. You can target a Materia Reactor Xyz you control, attach this card to it as a material, and draw a card. Okay. And then the spell... When this card resolves, excavate the top 6 cards of your deck, place them on top of the deck in any order. Completely creeps, what's that, Spyglass? That Spyglass card that does this. Once per turn, you can pay 1,500 life points, special summon a Materia Reactor Xyz from your extra deck by using one level 3 normal monster you control as a material. Your Xyz locked, and if an Xyz monster is Xyz summoned, you can attach the top card of your deck to one of your Materia Reactor Xyz monsters as a material. Okay, I guess it's really hard to talk about Materia Reactors in the abstract because they've almost exclusively been used as like another capable rank 3 engine. You know, decks like Goblin Bikers really want like good rank 3 engines, and shockingly there aren't a lot of them. Terratop and Takatomborg, the Punks are okay, even though they introduce a lot of bricks to the equation. But the deck is still playing like Tour Guide because it is kind of hard to find a consistent, powerful rank 3 engine that always goes off. So it's not unlikely that these are going to see play somewhere. But I'm just so confused as to what like capital M Materioractor wants to do. These cards have been coming out so infrequently and in so low numbers that I'm like, why are they even printing them? I'm excited to see if these will give them a sense of identity. It's just, ugh, yuck. Carrion King, I think, has the take that I'm going to settle on, which is this isn't even really a deck. It's like Argo Stars, an archetype that only works to supplement other archetypes. Let's read the flavor text, though. An alien life form that suddenly crash-landed from the heavens far above. Although many researchers have tried to determine why it came, do not come. The combination of its luminous glow and the miasma that surrounds it have shrouded its existence in complete mystery. As a result, trying to grasp the true nature of Gygas's attack has been extremely difficult. In recent years, thanks to the efforts of up-and-coming researchers named Dimax, many new species have been discovered. The day will soon come when the full extent of their existence will be revealed. Well, when they reveal the full extent of their existence, we will be there for it. Until then, thank you. Another 100 years to rank 3 goblin spam. Next up. The battle for sinful spoils reaches its climax, as am I. Why do I hear Halloween's Narwhal? Satchmo, what are you talking about here? I don't know why you're hearing it. This is kind of fun. This is a deep cut. Is this from like a video game or something? An iOS game called Punishing Gray Raven. All right, Satchmo, I got to tell you, I appreciate this. Personally, I love making like obscure references in my videos for exactly 3 people. I think this is the same thing. Keep it up. The true joy of being someone who creates work online is you get to inflict your brainworms onto the population, and I appreciate you. More of this. Okay, so we have first up Diabellstar, the Sin Adjudicator. There's just no way in hell that's her name. The Sin Adjudicator. Diabellstar, the Sin Adjudicator. Okay. You can banish 1 spell and trap from your hand or graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. 2,500 attack. Works well with the Regenesists. That's not their name. Quick effect. You can pay half your life points. Destrudo Moment. Target a card your opponent controls. Destroy it. Then if another Diabell monster card is on the field, special summon an illusion or spellcaster tuner synchro from your extra deck. What the hell are those? I guess the White Forest guys? Explain this in the concept of Wicked, or the context of Wicked. Yeah, I mean, it kind of fits, right? All right. Try not saying mother challenge. Not saying mother for 2 seconds challenge. Diabell's the White Witch. This is a White Forest. You can send a spell trap from your hand or field to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normally special summoned, you can send a Sinful Spoils or Diabell from your deck to the graveyard. Fuck you for banning OSS. I get it now. Monsters you control can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects while you control 2 or more Diabell monsters. They power each other up. Because they knew each other. They have both been changed for good. I mean, I don't know if this is for good. This is kind of for bad. When I saw the name of this card, I was pogging out of my mind. Azamina. Must be either fusion summoned or special summoned by tributing a Saint Azamina and a face-up monster your opponent controls. Can't be destroyed by card effects. Every time your opponent activates a card effect, all monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack when it resolves. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters with 0 attack. This card doesn't really do anything. But it is like, it's super polys a board, so that's nice. Asamina. Mega Fleet 2, exactly, yeah. Anti-Ubeltech, yeah. Snake Eyes Executor Dragon. This is the guy who kills you after he judges your sins. So this isn't Flamberge, is it? I think this is Poplar? I don't know. We'll worry about it later. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. During the main phase, you can target a face-up monster on the field or in the graveyard, put it face-up in its owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. Also, this card cannot use this effect next turn. What? Why? Why is that? During the battle phase, you can target 2 cards on the field, a monster and a continuous spell, destroy them. That's insane. That's really good. Wow. And you can use both of them in the same turn. But battle phase only. That sucks. Mirror Jade Awe effect. Mystic Mystery of the White Forest. This is Poplar in his ascended form. This is Poplar once Poplar sheds his mortal coil. If this card is special summoned, you can target 2 white monsters in your graveyard, put them face up in their owner's spell and trap zones as continuous effects, and then during your opponent's main phase, it's also Formula Synchron. Philias Diabell. Oh my god, look. She's protecting her from what? Saint Azamina? Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the story. They go back to the White Forest, and it's all fucked up and corrupted, and she's, like, slicing through the Azaminas. I don't know. Add a level 8 or higher Diabell monster from your deck to your hand, or, if only your opponent controls a monster, special summon it instead. I like this design on cards. I love when they take cards that are, like, already good, and they make them way better if you're going second. If this card becomes banished, you can make all Diabell monsters you control gain 500 attack. Curse of Diabell. Oh my god. We just met Azamina. She's getting killed. If you control 2 or more Diabell monsters, send a monster you control to the graveyard, destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls. Oh my god. If this card is sent to the grave or banished, except from the hand or deck, you can add from the hand or deck, you can add a Diabell spell trap from your deck to your hand, except Curse of Diabell. And then Sinless Sinful Spoils. Target a Diabell in your graveyard or banishment, discard a card, special summon that monster. Target a face-up monster card in your spell and trap zone, special summon it. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what any of these cards do. I don't know how they function in the existing Diabellstar decks. I don't know if Diabellstar is a deck in any sort of realistic capacity. I don't know if White Forest will play any of these cards. I imagine they'll play Execute Dragon. They'll probably play Mystic Mystery. Some of these cards replenish themselves, which is nice. The thing that I'm more interested about is the story. So what's going on here? So they return to the White Forest, right? And Diabellstar unlocks the potential of... This is the Scythe, right? Regenesis has turned into epic armor. I don't know what's going on with Diabells, but she's a good guy now, right? Even though she looks kind of crazy. And her hat is a fish. And they go back and they find that in the White Forest is Saint Azamina, who becomes actual Azamina. And Azamina is a very bad person. And so Diabell has to protect Diabells from the Azamina cards. And then one of them sacrifices themselves to kill Azamina. And which one sacrifices themselves? I don't know. But it looks like at the end, both Diabell and Diabells are sobbing and hugging each other, while 3 people, who I have to imagine are, what? Rusha, Silvera, and I don't know who the third person is. It's Rusha, Sylvie, and Diabell. No, Diabell's right here. Oh, Diabell the Queen Diabell. Oh, White Forest Diabell. No, that's Diabellstar. You know, this shit would be easier if they weren't all named Diabellstar. You understand that, right? Why are they all named Diabell? Diabells, Diabellstar. Come on. Cute. I'm glad the story's over. I gotta tell you, I did not get really invested in it. It's no branded. I'll say that. It was no branded. It was really more Vsauce than branded. Almost over. Oh, is there one more? We do need the goblin. We do need the goblin epilogue. Where are the goblins? The goblins are critical members of the Diabellstar storyline. We need more goblins. I hope they do an epilogue and we get a goblin card where the goblins are riding off into the sunset. It's called Goblin Bikers Gone. Goblin Bikers Gone. Oh, man. Goblin Bikers Gone freaky. It's coming. All right, next up. Here's the last card. Forest. It's just called Forest. No, this is Witches of the White Forest. Okay. It'd be so funny. They chase the witches out of the White Forest. It's just called Forest. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can only activate the third effect once per turn. When this card resolves, you can add a White Forest monster from your deck to your hand, and you can special summon dark monsters from the extra deck. The first time each of your White Forest monsters would be destroyed by battle. It's not. You target a White Forest you control. It's treated as a tuner this turn. You'll have to tell me if I'm wrong. Not super good at the White Forest deck. This seems really good, right? Not great? Oh, do they need darks or something? I mean, it seems... It's Dragonic Diagram. That's what it reads like to me. It's very good. It's bad because you can't play Azamina with it. Okay. White Forest is such an interesting deck to me. Never has more ink been spilled on a deck that's kind of okay. It's like this super complex deck that does a million different things, and like Branded, has mutated 45 million times in order to accommodate new pieces of support. But unlike Branded, all it's accomplished is like, yeah, it's like the best deck in Tier 3. It's like, there's never been like, shit, this is White Forest's format. It's, oh, man. Okay, all right. If anything is going to break it, I feel like it's this final wave of support, because what'll break it afterwards? All right, next up. Okay, this is just a bunch of rarities. Here's Saint Azamina. I just want to point out Goblin Bikers Gone Bonkers. So I don't know if it'll end up in everything you need to know, but I sent Jaxel this very important thing. So, in my hometown of Topeka, Kansas, a Chuck E. Cheese clone opened up a couple decades ago, and they played these commercials incessantly on the radio and the TV.
It's my birthday, and I'm going bonkers. I'm going bonkers! Going bonkers, best birthday ever.
So I always, when I saw Going Bonkers, I was like, oh my god, they're back. Is Kansas third world? No. You know what's crazy is that this place actually was quite good. I remember being like, great, a Chuck E. Cheese ripoff. It was actually a ton of fun. It was quite good. It was nice as hell. But the ads looked like shit. That child is now running Facebook. Is this store still around? I don't know. Maybe. If they are, it's a real testament to the strength of Going Bonkers. Next up. Okay, imports. So Suda has a bunch of slots available for cards that we never got in the TCG. We have Detonating Karibo. We talked about this one like 9 months ago. Remember, it's bad. Otonari Thunder. I did not realize that we did not have. The only reason I know this card is because its art was bugged on Edo Pro, and in that zombie-only duel I did against Hardleg, this was the art for that card that came out in like Pote that's a big-ass zombie. Performapal Sky Magician Girl. If you'll recall, I actually like this card a lot, but, you know, Performapal is Performapal. Magistus Chorizo, if you aren't familiar, this is like a sort of spiced pork crumble that just goes really well on any sort of burritos. It's great in like tamales. It's really, really enjoyable. This card is important for a number of decks and strategies, but I don't think you will see it too frequently yet. I think there will be a day when this card is really, really impactful. I don't think we're there at the moment. Fun fact, you can't even search for this card on Google because it does autocorrect it to chorizo. That's so good. And, you know, I'm off red meat, and I have been for like a decade. I do want to give a quick shout out. Trader Joe's, like, fake, it's like soy or something, chorizo. It's not bad. It is not bad. Could be a lot worse. I don't know if they still sell it. They used to sell like a big link of the fake chorizo. Chorizo isn't red meat? Yes, it is. It's pig? What? CJ, pork isn't red meat. We got to kill this guy. Next up. This is the world premiere. Okay. So, these are cards that we're getting exclusive to the TCG. Now, remember that we do have a world premiere theme as well, right? Don't we? Yes. TCG exclusives, I can't. And we'll get to that if it's on. I think we've actually already talked about it. You're all familiar with Mitsurugi. You know that it is bad, but it's a rank 4 engine you can play in some sort of rank 4 deck. Oh my god. Can anyone think of a rank 4 deck that might be good? So who knows? Let's talk about these cards. Dark Necromancer in particular. First off, we didn't have a card called Dark Necromancer? It's been 25 years. We didn't have a Dark Necromancer? I mean, okay, I just thought we would have a Dark Necromancer. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send a fiend or zombie ritual monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, then add a ritual spell from your deck to your hand. If this card is banished, you can target one of your banished level 4 or lower fiend or zombies, special summon it. You can only use this effect of Dark Necromancer once per turn. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is a Vendread card. This is like the most a Vendread card has ever been a Vendread card. It's just Vendread support. It's a cool normal summon for Vendread. Zombies has this problem where every normal summon they have competes with Unizombie, and also they don't have a second Unizombie. Like, there's not a second card that does the same stuff that card does. This card does similar shit. This card is quite strong. It's really good in a number of zombie strategies, but most notably Vendread. But Dimax does have the secret sauce, which is you can use your normal on something else, then get to this guy through Ghost Fusion, which is kind of an integral part of zombie setups these days, and then do it in the back half of the combo. This card is really cool, has a ton of potential. The thing about zombie is that every time they get new support, I'm like, damn, is this going to be the time? And it never is. I think they're just pushing the buck at this point to see what they can print to get the deck even playable. Next up. This is another interesting zombie card. Volcarion the Rotting Phoenix. So this one reads very unimpressive, but I promise you it is way better than it reads. Okay. If you control a zombie monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can return this card from the field to the hand, then special summon one zombie monster from your hand. You can only use each effect of Volcarion the Rotting Phoenix once per turn. A lot going on in this card. Free special, that's a tuner. That's number one. Second, free special. Third, a significant amount of zombie cards are dick-ass bricks that you don't want in your grip, that you can just swap out for this guy now. It's a type of card that doesn't exist anymore. Like, oops, I've drawn one of the cards I don't want to draw. Let me use this to cash out of it. Decks are just so consistent nowadays that people will just run the like 4% on drawing a bad card and decreasing the strength of their end board a little bit. Look at Malice and Dotscaper, for instance. But this card resolves that issue. Whether that means it deserves a slot in the deck is up to you. I think people will experiment with it. I think it has enough utility that I will be considering it. I mean, I want to play Zombie. These cards are making me want to play Zombie again. This card is so funny. This is like the most comedic card of all time. Curse of the Ancient Turtle. Banish a zombie monster from your hand or graveyard. Send a zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. So first off, it's foolish. When your zombie monster is destroyed by battle, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Special a zombie monster with 2,000 or less defense from your deck. That's right. Everyone is Pyramid Turtle. Pyramid number 2 has been activated. I'm gonna just like come along with this vision with me. I want you to close your eyes. It's turn 1. You're playing Zombie against your better judgment. You open your hand, you're like, fuck, it's all cards I didn't want to draw. But there it is. Curse of the Ancient Turtle. You go, wait. You activate Curse of the Ancient Turtle. You banish Dark Necromancer and send Mizuki to the graveyard. Or Hound Horde. Or you banish Qiangxi the Spear Dao. Oh, man. Oh. Yeah. I'm loving this card. It floats at a Baylor Drock, too. Okay, next up we have Mini Melean. Mini Melean. Stupid. Okay, this is a water psychic monster. You can banish a card from your head. Special summon this card from your hand. You can banish a face-up level 4 or lower monster you control. Special a monster from your deck with the same original type and attribute the banished monster had, but 1 or 2 levels lower than its original level. What the fuck is going on with this card? So, many of you have cottoned onto its use case. This is goatee support. Why are they... Why are we printing goatee support? So it is goatee support. It is mutant support, of all things. It's like a weird extender and starter for some very specific decks in particular. Chad is going Super Quant can maybe play this. Very weird. Very, very odd. Bad Malice support. It is a whack-ass Malice extender, too. I don't buy it. It is funny, though. Shadow Severing Strike. So this is anti-DD Warrior Man destroying the DD Fissure. If a card is banished from the hand or field to activate a monster effect, like the one above, you can apply one of the following effects based on one of the card types banished. Monster, negate the effects of a face-up spell trap at the field until the end of the turn. Spell draw 2, trap, banish a monster on the field. If this card is banished to activate a monster effect, you can add a banished card to your hand. I don't know. it seems if they didn't put the once per turn on it, you could do some really funny stuff with this. But DD Post. Okay. We got to talk about it. What the fuck? Dude. What is with these quivering hips on this guy? I didn't know Die Greffer was like that, man. What the fuck? Oh my god. Wow. Whew. Like, it's a porn artist. The person drawing this has to be, like, a gay porn artist. That's, like, look at this. Come on. Monsters you control gain 300 attack for each card type among your banished cards. Once per turn during the main phase, you can banish a card from your hand or graveyard, shuffle a banished card into the deck. If this card is banished, you can place it face up on your field. 1 effect per turn. Doesn't do anything. But come on. Look at that. Beast of Talwar, the Sword Summit. Okay. So I guess they are continuing to print like the old vanilla card retrain things. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. The first time this card would be destroyed by an opponent's card each turn, it is not. Neither player can target other monsters with equip, spell cards, or effects. First off, horrible, awful day to be the Ascendant of Thunder, now completely fraudulent. This is just a free 7. This is bad, though, right? It doesn't do anything. It's just like a Chaos Hunter style, weirdly singular floodgate. That said, anything that makes Mikanko's life any harder is good in my book. So congratulations, Beast of Talwar. I will be playing you at 3 in everything. Ripplebird. You can detach a material from this card, target a monster on the field, change its battle position. While all monsters are in attack position, they gain 500. While all monsters you control are in defense, your opponent cannot declare an attack. Huh. So any Link one is immediately suspect for play in Mig Ghoul, obviously. The interesting part about this card is it's designed to get you into a position in a deck that just makes Xyz where you go like Ripplebird, attack with some monster, then main phase 2, use Ripplebird to switch it to defense position, right? And note that that first effect isn't a once per turn. So, like, here's what I'm thinking. It's like Mig Ghoul makes Ripplebird, uses the effect to flip a face-down monster face up, attacks with someone in attack position, use Ripplebird again, switch it to defense. Now, on top of the weird floodgate on on dungeon, rather, they also have to deal with the weird floodgate on Ripplebird. Just another sort of annoyance in a deck already full of annoyances. But unfortunately, you know, extra deck space in Mig Ghoul isn't super tight, but I still don't know if I'd consider this. It's no fucko, that's for sure. It's not a great Zeus pilot. But I do think people are being a little too quick in writing this off. I think it has applications. I think there's stuff this card can do. And I think for people like Peeps, it will see play. Next up. The Toil of the Normal. I love the Law of the Normal cards. Every Law of the Normal card, just give me one every set until the end of time. Apply these effects based on the number of normal monsters with different names in your graveyard. Skip over any that do not apply. This turn, normal monsters gain 800. Negate the effects of an effect monster in the field. Normal monsters can be destroyed by card effects. Shuffle an effect monster on the field and in the deck. Add a Toil of the Normal from your deck to your hand. I want the level 2 or lower normal deck to be good. Really, I do. But it isn't, and it won't be, so... Okay, new 6-Sam PogChamp. Stop printing new 6-Sams. We don't need these. There's only one thing you can do to make 6-Sam playable, and that's ban Gateway. Just ban Gateway so that we can do something interesting with these cards again. Okay, so they have made Kizan a legendary 6 Samurai Lord. After doing 9 million FTKs, you are allowed to become a Lord. 6 Samurai monsters gain 600 attack and defense during the battle phase. During your opponent's main phase, you can banish a 6 strike, target a card on the field, destroy it. If you control 2 or more 6 Sams, you can special this card from your graveyard. Great card. Does a lot for the strategy. Gets a little more value off of a 6 strike that's already triggered. Adds a sort of layering effect to your end boards. Just kidding. There's no end boards in 6 Samurai because right now all they fucking do is FTK. Ban Gateway so they can have some good cards. At present, every single new card printed for 6 Sam has to rankle with the fact that if it interacts with your opponent, it's probably bad because any respectable 6 Sam deck isn't making it past turn 1. Fuck. You gotta ban this card, dude. Ban red, blue, not Gateway. You can still make it work by looping Kizan and Emerald, right? Maybe that's not enough. It's so annoying because, like, after 15 waves of support, they are getting to a position where, like, there's an end board that's competent and does something and interacts with your opponent. But, like, to get there, you do all the steps you would do to just win the game anyway. So, who knows? Ugh. Portal de Sex. Next up. Red Eye's Metal Claw Dragon. Okay. So, for the past 10,000 years, Red Eyes has been the red-eyed headed stepchild of the DM trio in that it sucks balls. You know what, actually, let me correct the record on this. People always say this. They always fire off this factoid. Red Eyes is not good compared to the other DM stuff. That's not true at all. The red-headed stepchild of the DM trio is DM. Blue Eyes had a Worlds winning deck. It's been playable a number of times. Red Eyes has never been playable as a strategy, which I think is what makes some people kind of frustrated about it. But Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon was really good. Black Metal Dragon was in dozens of tier 1 decks. That the current iteration of Bestial Dragon Link is playing the Red Eyes Meteor Dragon. Red Eyes Fusion was featured in a bunch of decks. Slash was good in Duel Links. I don't know. What do you people want? Like, DM has a capital D deck, and Red Eyes doesn't. That is true. But the DM deck has never been as successful as the Red Eyes cards. Anyway, that's all preface for this, which is, you guys remember the Metal Morph cards, right? So, Bandit Keith, his gimmick was Metal Morph, like, metalizes your cards and makes, like, a metalized version of them. And they've been dribbling the little metalized versions out for the last couple of sets, and they're not bad. Like, the Red Eyes metalized version is good. They're all pretty strong. They're just a little slow. They're just a little weird. I do like, now they have 1-card combos, thanks to Flare Metal Man, Flame Swordsman Metal, who you can check out on my my most recent YouTube short. But now they have this, which is Metal Morph Circular. So let me walk you through this card. You can send one of your set cards to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned and you have max Metal Morph on your field or graveyard, you can add a Metal Morph trap from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can activate Metal Morph traps the turn they are set. This card's insane. This card is fucking unbelievable. So let me just tell you what's going to happen here. You're going to go Flare Metal Man, send to the graveyard to grab Illusionist. You're going to normal the Illusionist, activate the effect of the Illusionist, and then you're going to set a copy of Max Metal Morph. You're going to send the Max Metal Morph to the graveyard to summon out Metal Claw Dragon. Then you're going to trigger Metal Claw Dragon to get Flame-Coated Metal Morph. Then you're going to activate the Flame-Coated Metal Morph to go into the Omni turn 1. And then you can just do your play. I mean, it seems pretty good. But of course, there's like the important part about this card is its flexibility. If you draw any part of that combo, you get to this. If you lead this and then activate Illusionist, it draws. That's correct. It's just, I don't know. I really like this card. I think it's good. Again, I talk a little bit about this in the short. I think Metal Morph has a lot of potential, not as a deck because it really only does the one thing, but as an engine in the sort of ever-evolving Fiendsmith, Bestial, Kashtira, Primite, just like slop, like pick 3 engine thing. And I think this has a real shot at being one of the engines you play. I think the Metal Morph stuff is quite good. Maybe it'll go with Regenesis. Next up. Okay, last thing I think we're doing, we don't know anything about these guys, but we have the very first details about Justice Hunters. So we have Dragon Tail Alothrion. Okay. Tail is spelled T-A-L-E, which first off, Dragon Tales is already a Canadian show, so they're going to have to sort that out with legal. Second, I guess like the tail is like a sort of storytelling thing, which is why he sort of looks like cosmic in a sense. Whatever. Fusion monsters that wield the power of dragon magic. Okay, the one you're all here for. Yummy! You got that yummy yum, that yummy yum. There's some kind of alien cat. Cupsith Yummy Way. Synchro monsters that catch cute and quirky little guys who are the sweetest treats imaginable. You're fucking with me. It's the claw game archetype. Dog, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Fuck, I love Yu-Gi-Oh so much. It's the claw game where you have to catch little parfaits and little candies. This game is so good. Oh. Gotcha in my gotcha. Would you drink them? Yes. Yummy. And then K9. Oh. I do like they're just the furries are just eating now. They saw how you all responded to Fur Hire and they're like, okay, we'll put more furries in the fucking game. Xyz monsters that strike down evil and villainy that spreads to the darkest shadows. This is Ripper. Okay. Paw Patrol. That's what it's gonna be localized at. We are looking respectably. They're looking respectively. I think that's all of them. That's all of them. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about Primite Barrel real quick. I think I have the tweet pulled up. I don't. Fuck. I had it earlier. All right, so let's read this card. This card's coming out in Suda in about a week. If this card is normal summoned, you can set a during the standby phase. If you have a normal monster to your field or graveyard, you can add this card from your graveyard to the hand. Hold up, that's not right. Huh? Wait, let's go other languages. Let's try the Japanese one. Okay, it's already been corrected. Here it is. During your standby phase, if you have a normal monster in your field or graveyard, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. Huh. So now instead of triggering every other standby phase, it triggers every standby phase. However, you would expect this would be a situation like Topologic Zero Boros, or it would be a situation like Hextia, where they like, okay, our bad. It wasn't perfect. Okay, no, Pobity's perfect. However, it is up in the database with the every standby phase text. So it was intentional, or maybe the original was not a mistranslation. To my understanding, this is how this card is going to function. Are they... Now ask yourself this. Is this like an honest mistake, or are they angling to make Blue Eyes better? That's all for today. All right, let's spend the next 10 minutes putting together our Saga deck, and then let's go slap that little boy around.